habits. Go. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it. Nope. They thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. Right. And I don't need you to okay it. Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pounds. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown.
Okay, Coach, on a wonderful fall afternoon in the state of Texas, the roof is open, and we've got football from NRG Stadium in Houston. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Houston Texans. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go! At their own 19-yard line.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move. 4 down. Look out for number 3.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him. And to bring him to the ground.
It's second down.
So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Now it's Rodgers. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Going up top. It's caught inside the 25. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 52 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
To throw is Rodgers. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Rodgers to throw again. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Bernardrick McKinney, the linebacker, picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them, in a sense, and gotten the ball from them.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 20. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 39 yards there, a big one.
First down. First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for first and 10. Toss play, Kamara. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. But it's going to be second down. An incomplete pass leads to second and 10 from the 25. Now Kamara. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
26. 55. Right there in the middle. Boom. Let's go, defense.
Throwing on third down, Watson. Flush to his right. Open man is Howard, the tight end. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. A little risky there when you roll out of that pocket right like he did. You complete the pass, but you don't get anything out of it.
But how many times have we seen when a quarterback exits out of the pocket, doesn't matter whether they go left or right, the defense loses its leverage, right? There's a little chaos back there, and receivers come open. Great discipline on that play. They didn't let that happen and held it to no gain.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another first and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off here by Aaron Colvin. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. He's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Hey, we got four down. Mike 41. Here we go. Inside. Here we go.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. This one brought in by the 6'5" tight end Waring. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
26. 41 to Mike. Check 41.
Rodgers now on first down. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. So more problems here in this first quarter. Already 2 scores down, and here they give away the football.
And if I'm the head coach, I think it's time to start lighting a fire under some of these guys. Now, you have to do it within your personality. They can't perceive it as fake. But I'd go get after some guys because they don't look ready to play to me. They look flat, uninspired. It's time to get moving.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at their 48-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Mike 31. 55. Mike.
From the gun, here's Watson. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And the Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to hard. Alert. Line up.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football. They're looking at a 3rd and 6 here to start things out. Out of the gun, Watson. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first, thanks to a flashy little spin move. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
This is it. 19. Here we go, G. Get off the field.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. To throw is Watson. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Vic Beasley making it look easy, cruising in for the sack. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down.
Alert! Mike's 50. Mike's 50. Better bring it.
A shotgun snap for Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. On the ground, this is Kamara. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. A crucial penalty there as the hold backs him up for another second and goal.
Mike 50, Mike 50. Hey, here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
From the gun, Watson. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
They were held to a field goal on their first drive. They want 6 now, but it's third and goal.
Lucky.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
How crucial will those 5 yards be? We'll see as they come up again here, third and goal. Watson now. From the gun, he'll throw. This is caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Alvin Kamara. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Texans push further out in front. See, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
I know, but hold on, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here's a throw dropped off to his fullback. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Check. Easy. Check 30.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. Remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. To throw again on second down, Rodgers. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments.
DeAndre Hopkins, he's all alone. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, 78 yards. And the Texans push further out in front.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
You said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
You better be afraid of me.
To throw again, Rodgers. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
The catch, deservedly so, is going to get a lot of credit, but even more so because there's a defender there ready to make a play.
Yeah, just flat out muscled on that one. Now Rodgers. He sets to fire deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one, much more like lead.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go, ball on the 43.
I'm trying to collect. Hey, check 26. 41's coming. 41's the mic.
Throwing again. Rodgers. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans 36. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
55. Go to 50. Hey, you block over here. 41 Mike, right here. 41 Mike.
Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
88. 55.
Rodgers going to throw again. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime.
Hey, Charlie. Mike 55. Hey, watch the slant.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. He's going to sling this deep downfield, and that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
At the 12-yard line.
86, 19, 50, 29, 31.
The final shot before the break. Watson, he's going to float this one deep right side. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. So we've come upon halftime here in Houston, and it's the home team, the Texans, leading this one. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They built a good 1st half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice 1st half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Mike's 50. Let's put him on the 31. Let's put that team on the box.
Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. Dancing to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. T.J. Watt causing the disruption. He gets the sack.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans.
55 Mike, guys, 55. That's it.
3rd and long, it's Watson. incomplete. So no problems moving the ball in the first half, but they'll likely come up empty here on drive one of quarter three.
And it was so important for the defense to get that stop, because what we witnessed in the first half was them getting run over. And they needed the confidence, and they needed to get off the field so they felt good going forward in this game.
Let's go. At their own 14-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter three, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay.
And now here is another interception. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. So cancel the interception, pass interference.
And you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play, but now it's all for naught.
258. Over. Plant. Check. Motion out of the backfield.
First carry for James Conner. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for second down. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
A gain of 8 yards. And it's third down.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Haywood. Hey, 4-1 Mike. Let's go, D.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down. Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Now on 2nd and 13. Watson. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 16 yards, a first down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And he finds Howard complete. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. A 10th carry for Kamara. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play there out of Kamara. Give him 42 yards on the ground. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now Watson operating from the gun. Forced out to his left. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. It's complete to Hopkins. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A very solid gain of 27. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels. Got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy? And what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you want 2.
Without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd.
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Vince Williams able to drop him for a loss of a couple.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Operating from the gun, Watson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there, because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even open.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Here's Rodgers. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
Inside.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. He finds his man Johnson. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down.
41 Mike. 41 Mike. Watch the back.
Rodgers to throw for it on fourth. And some room to work. There he goes right side. And they will score a pick six for the Texans TD. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
This fielded at the 2. And he's going to get this across the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
They'll run with Samuels. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
A loss of 2 brings up second and 12 at the 33-yard line.
55, 55. Get 300. Get 300. Go.
On second and 12, Rodgers. He's going to air one out. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Mike, 55. Zoom. Mike. We own them. We own them. Mike,
now Rodgers from the gun, he'll throw. And my goodness, another interception. Margaret McKinney, the linebacker, picks it. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Here's second and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Again, it's Kamara. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Be soft, baby. That's baby soft.
Learn.
Let's go, Mike 50. Mike 50.
Here we go.
From the gun on third, Watson. Open man is Quinn. He completes it. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. First target, first catch, and a first down. Watson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Kamara trying the right side. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On second down, Foreman. There to make the tackle, Steven Nelson.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Watson. With a catch made by Hopkins. And he is out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15. So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession and both feet inbounds.
If this were a college game, this would be a legal catch. It's the second foot that they're looking at to make sure it gets down. You have to have 2 inbounds in the NFL.
Gotta do better.
Kamara. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end.
Watson now. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And it's picked up by the Steelers. He's at the 50. He's at the 40. 20, 10, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Oh, backbreaker. That'll drive the coach, the offensive coordinator, just crazy. You get it all the way down there in the red zone, can't capitalize. Instead, they go the other way on the fumble return for a touchdown.
How about the aggressiveness of the defense, though? They're not about to just fall on a fumble, are they? Scoop and score is their motto, and they just did it.
And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10. Watson hands this to Foreman and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Get ready.
A man who's been busy this afternoon. It's Kamara again. And maybe Shane's in the steel curtain here as the Steeler defense drops him behind the line again. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Mike 5-5, Mike 55, Mike 5-5.
Here's Watson throwing on 3rd and long. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
General West.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, eat. They gonna need some therapy.
Rodgers will try again on second down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Zach Cunningham, there defensively to make that play.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
Rodgers going to throw. This is Johnson. He's got it. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Deontay Johnson, 91 yards. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit. Boswell good with the extra point. And that will get them one closer. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have two. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. And he's going to have the hook up to QT. Now the Steelers going to use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Texans on third down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 17.
Check right. Slow. Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys. Check 55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike. Don't get nervous.
From the gun, here's Watson going deep for Hopkins. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now, give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. To me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Around the NFL, they're in the 4th now in Green Bay. The gap's getting wider there. The Saints have scored again. If they indeed win, it would be win number 9 on the season. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. DJ Reader picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and that'll be incomplete. The flag was down, so they took a shot, thinking it's on the defense. Let's see. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down.
55, Mike, 55. Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys.
Hey, wahoo!
Let's get off the field.
Mike 55, Mike 55.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's going to let it fly. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. And the Steelers on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 16.
Hey, check 26.
One final try now for Rodgers. This is caught inside the 15. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. And Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal: win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for Houston, the train just keeps rolling. 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaud. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.